My girlfriend left the room and said, "I'm not built to stay with sick people." I didn't beg. Understood. I stopped replying after that night. Months later, she saw my name somewhere she never expected. I'm 34, been in a relationship for 3 years, and I just learned that some people's love has an expiration date stamped until inconvenient. We met at a work conference. She was in marketing, I was in software development, hit it off immediately, moved in together after a year. Everything was good, great even. We talked about marriage, kids, the whole future, looked at houses, discussed baby names, made plans that felt real and permanent. Then I got sick. Started in March. Fatigue that wouldn't quit, joint pain, weird rashes that appeared and disappeared. Went to the doctor, then another doctor, then a specialist. Took 4 months to diagnose. Blood tests, MRIs, biopsies, the whole invasive medical circus. Autoimmune disorder, not fatal, not contagious, just chronic, lifelong. Manageable with medication, but still there, still real, still affecting my life every single day. The diagnosis came in July. I told her that night over dinner. Chinese takeout we'd ordered because I was too tired to cook, too exhausted to even think about standing at a stove. So they figured out what's wrong. She looked up from her phone. "Oh yeah? What is it?" I told her. Explained what the doctor said. The treatment plan, the prognosis, the lifestyle changes I'd need to make, the medications I'd be on for the rest of my life. The fact that some days would just be bad days no matter what I did. She was quiet for a long time, just staring at her food, pushing noodles around with her fork but not eating. "Is it curable?" "No, but it's manageable." "So you'll have this forever?" "Yeah. That's a lot." "Yeah, it is." She didn't say much else that night. Went to bed early. I stayed up researching, reading forums, medical journals, patient stories, trying to understand what my life would look like now, trying to find hope in other people's experiences. The next few weeks were rough, starting medication, dealing with side effects, nausea, headaches, brain fog, missing work, sleeping constantly. She was distant, came home late, spent more time out with friends, always had somewhere else to be. I tried to talk to her about it, multiple times, tried to bridge the growing gap between us. "I know this is hard, but I need your support. I'm supporting you. You're never here. I'm giving you space to rest. I need you here, with me, not space, you. I can't just sit around watching you be sick. I'm not asking you to sit around. I'm asking you to be present, to be my partner. I am present." But she wasn't. Not really. She was physically there sometimes, but mentally checked out. Always on her phone, always making plans to be elsewhere, always finding reasons to leave the apartment. 2 months after the diagnosis, things came to a head. I'd had a particularly bad day. Pain radiating through every joint. Fatigue so deep I felt like I was moving through concrete. Couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't even reach for the water on my nightstand. Called her at work. "Can you come home? I need help. I'm in the middle of something. Please. I can barely move. I need someone here. Take your medication. Rest. I'll be home later." "When?" "I don't know. When I'm done. I have a project deadline." She came home at 9 p.m. I'd been in bed all day, hadn't eaten, hadn't showered, just lying there trying not to cry from the pain, trying to convince myself this would pass. She walked into the bedroom, looked at me, sighed like I was an inconvenience. "You're still in bed? I told you it was bad today. Did you take your medication?" "Yes. It takes time to work. It's not instant." "Did you eat?" "I couldn't get up. I tried. I fell." "There's food in the kitchen. You could have ordered something." "I needed you to be here. I needed help. I can't drop everything every time you don't feel well." "Every time? This is the first time I've asked you to come home early. The first time in 2 months. It feels like every time lately. You're always sick. Always needing something. Because I'm sick. That's what happens when you're sick. You need support. She sat on the edge of the bed, wouldn't look at me, stared at the wall like there was something fascinating there. I don't think I can do this. My stomach dropped. Do what? This. Taking care of you. Being with someone who's sick. I'm not asking you to take care of me. Just to be here. To support me. To be my partner like you promised. It's the same thing now. It's not. She stood up. Started pacing. Back and forth at the foot of the bed. I didn't sign up for this. When we got together, you were healthy, active. We went hiking, traveling. Now you're this. I have a medical condition. I'm still me. Same person you fell in love with. Are you? Because the person I fell in love with didn't spend all day in bed, didn't cancel plans constantly, didn't need help with basic things. The person you fell in love with didn't have an autoimmune disorder. Things changed. I didn't choose this. Do you think I wanted this? Neither did I. We sat in silence, the truth hanging between us like a guillotine blade. She was done. I could see it in her face, in the way she wouldn't meet my eyes, in the way she'd already mentally moved on. What are you saying? She looked at me. Finally. I'm saying I'm not built to stay with sick people. I can't be the caretaker girlfriend. It's not who I am. I'm not capable of it. I'm not asking you to be a caretaker. I'm asking you to be my partner, to love me through hard times. It's the same thing now. You need too much, and I can't give it. Then I guess we're done. She nodded, relief visible on her face. I guess we are. She left the room. I heard her in the living room, making calls, probably to her friends, probably telling them I was being unreasonable, that she'd tried but couldn't deal with my illness, that I was too much, too needy, too sick. I didn't beg, didn't chase her, just lay there, processing. 3 years, gone, because I got sick, because I became inconvenient. She moved out the next week, took her stuff while I was at a doctor's appointment, left her key on the counter. No note, no goodbye, just gone. Like she'd never been there. I texted her once. Understood. That was it. My last communication. No arguing. No trying to change her mind. Just acknowledgement that she'd made her choice and I was accepting it. Because what else could I do? Update 1. The first month was brutal. Not just the breakup, the illness too. Adjusting to medication. Learning my limits. Figuring out how to live with a chronic condition while also being newly single, while also grieving the future I'd thought we'd have. My friends were incredible, showed up, brought food, sat with me on bad days, helped me clean when I couldn't, drove me to appointments when driving myself felt impossible, did all the things she should have done but didn't, proved that family isn't always blood and partners aren't always reliable. One friend asked, "Did she really leave because you got sick?" Yeah. That's cold. That's really cold. That's life, apparently. That's people. You deserve better, so much better. Yeah, I do. I threw myself into managing my health, found a good support group, online forum for people with the same condition, read everything, learned everything, became an expert on my own illness, downloaded medical journals, took notes, asked questions, refused to be a passive patient, started feeling better. Medication was working, energy was returning, not 100%, but better than those first few months, better than the days when I couldn't get out of bed, when I couldn't imagine feeling normal ever again. Got back to work full time, started exercising within my limits, walked, swam, stretched, started living again instead of just surviving. Started seeing a future that didn't look like endless suffering. Blocked her on everything. Phone, social media, email, every platform. Didn't want updates. Didn't want to know how she was doing. Didn't care if she was happy or sad or regretful. She'd made her choice. 3 months post-breakup, my doctor suggested I join a local support group. In person, not just online. Said it would help to connect with people who understood, who'd lived through similar struggles. I went. Small group, 8 people, mix of ages and conditions, led by a social worker who specialized in chronic illness. We met once a week at a community center, shared experiences, offered advice, supported each other in ways only people with chronic illness could. That's where I met her. The woman who'd become important later. She had a similar condition, was a few years into her diagnosis, had learned to manage it, had wisdom to share, had been through the darkness and come out the other side. We started talking after meetings, getting coffee, comparing notes on treatments, what worked, what didn't, what doctors to see, what doctors to avoid, became friends, good friends, the kind built on understanding and shared experience. She was patient, understanding, never made me feel like a burden, asked about my day, actually listened to the answer, listened when I needed to vent, celebrated small victories, sat with me through setbacks, treated my illness as a fact, not a flaw. One night over coffee, she asked, "Do you ever date anymore?" "No, not since my ex left." "Why not?" "Because I'm damaged goods, apparently. Who wants to date someone with a chronic illness? Who wants to sign up for this?" Someone who sees past the illness to the person. Someone who understands that everyone has something. Yours is just visible. That's rare. Maybe, but rare doesn't mean impossible. And you deserve someone who sees you as more than your diagnosis. We kept meeting, kept talking. Slowly, carefully, it became more than friendship. Started dating. Took it slow, no pressure, no expectations. Just 2 people who understood each other in ways most people couldn't. Who'd both been abandoned. Who'd both survived. Update 2. 6 months after the breakup, I was doing well. Relationship was good. Health was stable. Work was going great. Life was better than it had been in a year. Better than I'd thought possible during those dark first months. Then I heard through mutual friends that my ex was struggling. Not health-wise, life-wise. Job wasn't going well. She'd been let go during restructuring. Living situation was unstable, bouncing between friends' couches. Dating life was a disaster. String of failed relationships, each one shorter than the last. A friend told me, "She's been asking about you." What about me? How you're doing? If you're seeing anyone? If you're still sick? If you ever mention her? What did you tell her? That you're doing great, that you're in a relationship, that you're managing your illness well, that you seem happier than you've been in years. Good. She didn't like that, got upset, asked for your number. You didn't give it to her, right? Of course not, but she's persistent. But part of me wondered, was she regretting her choice? Was she realizing what she'd walked away from? Did she think she could come back? Did she think I'd been waiting? I didn't reach out. Didn't want to know. Was too busy building my new life with someone who actually showed up, who proved every day that love wasn't conditional. My girlfriend and I moved in together, found a place that worked for both of us. Ground floor apartment, accessible bathroom, close to medical facilities. She understood when I needed rest, never made me feel guilty for bad days, celebrated good days. Was everything my ex wasn't, everything my ex refused to be. We joined a non-profit together, organization that supported people with chronic illnesses, did awareness campaigns, fundraising, support group facilitation, speaking engagements. It felt good, using our experiences to help others, turning pain into purpose. That's where things got interesting. I started writing blog posts about living with chronic illness, about relationships and health, about what I'd learned, about my journey, about betrayal and recovery, about finding people who stay. The posts got attention, shared widely in chronic illness communities. People reached out with their own stories, similar experiences, similar betrayals, similar recoveries. I realized my story wasn't unique. That abandonment by partners was tragically common. A publisher contacted me, small press, asked if I'd considered writing a book, full length, about navigating relationships and chronic illness, about what happened when people left, about finding people who stayed, about building life after betrayal. I said yes, spent 6 months writing, every evening after work, every weekend, pouring everything into it. My girlfriend helped, shared her perspective, co-wrote some chapters, made it better than I could have alone, made it honest and raw and real. The book was published 8 months after my ex left. Small release, nothing major, but it sold, got good reviews in chronic illness circles, got attention online, started getting invited to podcasts, to conferences, to support groups as a speaker. Local newspaper did a feature, human interest story. My photo, my story, my girlfriend's story, our nonprofit work, the book, everything. They interviewed both of us, talked about resilience, about finding love after betrayal, about building community. That's when she saw it. Update 3. My ex messaged me, first contact in 10 months, through the one platform I hadn't blocked. LinkedIn, professional, neutral, calculated. I saw the article about your book. Congratulations. I always knew you were talented. I stared at the message, debated ignoring it, decided to respond. Keep it brief. Thank you. I'd like to read it. Where can I buy it? Any bookstore or online? Is it about us? It's about my experience. You're part of that experience. Should I be worried about how you portrayed me? You should read it and decide for yourself. She bought the book. I know because she posted about it. Screenshot of the purchase confirmation. Caption: supporting my ex's creative work. So proud of how he's turned his pain into art. My girlfriend saw it. She's really trying to insert herself back into your life, into your success. She can try. Doesn't mean I'm letting her. What if she reaches out more? What if she shows up? Then I'll ignore her more. Or we'll handle it together. But the messages kept coming. Not daily, but regularly, weekly. Comments about the book, questions about my health, mentions of things we used to do together, trying to remind me of good times, trying to erase her abandonment with nostalgia. Remember when we went to that concert? Best night. Hope you're feeling better these days. You deserve health and happiness. Your book made me think about our relationship differently, made me see my mistakes. I responded minimally. 1 or 2 words, never encouraging, never engaging, never giving her the conversation she was fishing for. Then she asked to meet. I'd like to talk about everything, about how I handled things, about what I could have done differently, about us. There is no us. That ended when you left. I know I messed up. I want to explain, to make you understand. No explanation needed. You made your choice. I respect it, but it's done. That door is closed. Can we at least get coffee, as friends, just to talk? We're not friends. We're not anything. We were once. Once. Not anymore. You don't get to leave someone at their lowest and come back when they're doing better. She went quiet for a few days, then showed up at one of our nonprofit events, public, open to anyone. She had every right to be there. Free event, community space. She approached me during a break. My girlfriend was across the room, saw what was happening, started heading over immediately. Hi. Hi. The event is great. What you're doing here is amazing, really making a difference. Thank you. I read your book, all of it. Twice, actually. Okay. I'm not portrayed well in it. I wrote honestly about my experience, about what happened. You made me sound heartless, like a monster. I wrote what happened. How that sounds is up to readers. I didn't editorialize, just told the truth. I wasn't heartless. I was scared. Being scared doesn't excuse abandoning someone when they need you most. I know that now. I've had time to think, to grow, to understand what I did. My girlfriend arrived, extended her hand, professional, polite. Hi, I don't think we've met. My ex shook it, looked between us, understood immediately who this was, saw the matching nonprofit badges, saw the easy familiarity, saw what she'd lost. No, we haven't. I'm his ex. Oh, the one from the book. Chapter 3, right? The abandonment chapter. Interesting to meet you. You're a cautionary tale. The tension was thick. My ex looked uncomfortable. Looked like she wanted to defend herself, but couldn't find words. I should go. Probably, my girlfriend said. Not meanly. Just matter of fact. Just true. She left. My girlfriend looked at me. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Better than okay. She's trying to get back in. You see that, right? I see it, but there's no door left to get through. Update 4. 2 weeks later, my ex sent a long email. Detailed, apologetic, explaining everything, justifying everything, asking for everything. She talked about being scared, about not knowing how to handle my illness, about feeling overwhelmed, about her own mental health struggles, about making bad choices, about regretting everything, about growing, about changing, about being different now. I've grown since then. I've been in therapy. I understand what I did wrong. I see it clearly now. I wish I could go back and do it differently, be there for you, support you like you deserved, but I can't. All I can do is apologize and hope you can forgive me someday. Hope we can at least be friends. I miss you. I miss us. I miss who we were together. I read it twice. Felt nothing. No anger. No satisfaction. No desire to respond. Just nothing. Emotional distance. Complete detachment. Showed it to my girlfriend. What do you think? I think she wants forgiveness, so she can feel better about herself, so she can stop being the villain in her own story. Yeah, that's what I think too. Are you going to respond? No, nothing I say will change anything, and I don't need to forgive her for me. I've already moved on, already built something better. Good, because she doesn't deserve your energy, doesn't deserve your words. I deleted the email, didn't respond, didn't acknowledge it, just let it disappear into the void where it belonged. The book continued selling, did well enough that the publisher wanted another one. Different focus, broader scope, about building life after loss, after betrayal, after diagnosis, after abandonment, about finding hope, about finding people who stay, about the difference between surviving and thriving. I started writing, kept going to the support group, kept doing nonprofit work, kept living my life, the one I'd built without her, the one she'd never be part of again. But then something unexpected happened, something that changed everything. Update 5. 3 months after that email, my ex showed up at another event. This time it wasn't our nonprofit. It was a book signing, my book, at a local bookstore, public event, advertised online. She had every right to be there. She waited until the end, until most people had left, until it was just me, my girlfriend, and the bookstore staff cleaning up. She approached with the book in hand. Would you sign this? I looked at her, at my girlfriend, at the book. Sure. I signed it. Just my name. No inscription, no personal message. Handed it back. Thank you. Can I say something? Just one thing? You can say it. I can't promise I'll care. Fair. I want you to know that watching you succeed has been hard. Not because I'm not happy for you, but because I realize what I gave up, who I gave up, and I can't take it back. No, you can't. If I could go back, you can't. That's the point. You made a choice. In my worst moment, you chose yourself, and now I'm choosing myself every day, with someone who chose me even when things were hard. She's lucky. I'm lucky. She stayed when staying was hard. That's rare. That's real. My ex looked at my girlfriend. Take care of him. I plan to, for as long as he'll have me. Good, he deserves that. She left, for real this time. No more messages, no more emails, no more showing up, just gone. Finally understanding that some doors don't reopen, that some choices are permanent. But that's not the twist. The real twist came 2 weeks later. I got a call from a major publisher. Big house, national distribution. They'd read my book, wanted to reprint it, wider release, marketing budget, book tour, the works, and they wanted my girlfriend to co-author the expanded edition, wanted both our perspectives, wanted to make it bigger, better, more impactful. We said yes, spent 4 months on the new edition, added chapters, updated content, made it comprehensive, made it powerful. The book released 8 months later, hit bestseller lists, got mainstream attention, got invited to major talk shows, to conferences, to medical schools to speak about patient experience. That's when my ex saw my name again, everywhere, on TV, in magazines, on bestseller lists, with my girlfriend, both of us, together. Success story, love story, survival story. She reached out to a mutual friend, asked how I was doing. The friend told me later. She asked if you were married yet. What did you say? That you're engaged, that you proposed last month, that you're getting married next spring. How did she react? She cried, said she made the biggest mistake of her life, that she'd give anything to go back. But she can't. No, she can't. Final update. It's been 2 years since she left. 20 months since she saw my name in that newspaper article. 18 months since that email I never answered. 12 months since the bestseller release. I'm doing well. Health is stable, relationship is strong. My girlfriend and I got married last month. Small wedding, just close friends and family. People who showed up, people who stayed, people who loved us through everything. The book's 3rd edition came out last week. Even more updated, more resources, more stories, more hope. Translated into 6 languages, used in medical schools, in support groups worldwide, making a difference. My ex bought that one too. Saw it on her social media, posted about it again. Still so proud, grateful his story helped so many people. My wife laughed. She's really trying to be part of your success story, trying to rewrite history. She's not part of it. She's just observing it from outside. She's the before, you're the after. Does it bother you that she's still watching? No. She can observe all she wants, doesn't change anything, doesn't give her access to this life. I heard through friends that she's been telling people she regrets leaving, that she'd take me back if I wanted, that she's changed, grown, learned, that she understands love now, that she could be different. Maybe she has changed. Maybe she's learned. Maybe she's grown. Doesn't matter. That chapter is closed, burned, gone. I moved on, built something better, with someone better. Someone who understood that love isn't conditional, isn't dependent on health or ease or convenience. Someone who stayed when staying was the hardest thing to do. My ex left because she wasn't built to stay with sick people. She said it herself, walked out, left me alone when I needed her most, made herself clear. I didn't beg, said, understood and let her go, stopped replying, moved on, built a life, wrote a book that became a bestseller, found love that was real, made a difference in thousands of lives. Months later, she saw my name in a newspaper article about the book, about the nonprofit, about turning pain into purpose, about finding someone who stayed, and she kept seeing it. On bestseller lists, on TV shows, in magazines, with my wife, both of us, together, successful, happy, complete. She saw my name somewhere she never expected, everywhere she looked. In success, she didn't think I'd achieve. In love, she didn't think I'd find. In a life that didn't need her anymore, didn't want her anymore, didn't have space for her anymore. And she realized too late that she'd walked away from someone who would have fought for her, but refused to fight for someone who'd already given up on him. She realized she'd left someone at their worst and watched them become their best without her. She realized that I'm not built to stay with sick people was really, I'm not built to love unconditionally. And unconditional love is the only kind that matters. I'm 34. Married to someone who sees past the illness to the person. Building a life that matters. Writing stories that help people. Learning that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's just living well, building better, loving deeper, and letting the people who left you stay in your past where they belong. And the real twist? My ex wasn't the only one who saw my name everywhere. People all over the world were seeing it, reading my story, finding hope in my words, learning that betrayal doesn't have to be the end, that chronic illness doesn't mean the end of happiness, that the people who leave make room for the people who stay. And those people, the ones who stay, they're the ones who matter. They're the ones who become family. They're the ones who prove that love isn't about being there when it's easy. It's about staying when it's impossibly hard. And that's the love I found. That's the love I kept. That's the love my ex will spend the rest of her life knowing she walked away from.